Welcome back, student, into the another session of analog communication of the unit pulse analog modulation. In the last session, we observed the ideal sampling, or we can say impulse sampling. Now in this session, we will study the practical sampling. As we know, practical sampling is divided into two parts. That is, first one is a natural sampling and second one is the flat top sampling. Now first we'll study the natural sampling. The term why natural? Okay, so here the top of each pulse in the sample sequence xx of t retains the shape of its corresponding analog segment during the pulse interval. In simple manner, the resultant signal or sample sequence in natural sampling retains the amplitude of the original signal. Here, now observe the circuit diagram of the natural sampling. Here is the input message signal. Okay, input to this chopper circuit. The chopper circuit may be formed by using a MOSFET as a switch, act as a switch. Okay, and the switch is open and closed using the triggering pulse, or also known as the sample signal xp of t. This signal is known as the xp of t. This acts as a trigger for the chopper circuit, which can be on and off depending on the pulse. If the pulse is positive, then the switch is closed and the input signal is sampled and gives the sampled signal at the output. When switch is open, there is no sampling. When again switch is closed, then this is sampling. Now observe the output signal. Okay, here the top of each pulse, okay, followed the original shape of the input signal or the amplitude of the input signal. Okay, so in simple manner, the sampled signal xs of t is nothing but the multiplication of your analog input x of t and the triggering pulse or the sampling signal xp of t. A more reasonable and practically feasible manner of sampling is called as natural sampling. Okay, and also this natural sampling is sometimes called chopper sampling because of the waveform of the sampled signals appears to be chopped off from the continuous time signal x of t. Now here observe the graphical sampling of natural. Okay, so here the sampling waveform xp of t, the sampling waveform xp of t consists of a train of pulses each having a duration tau and separated by sampling time ts. Okay, each pulse have a duration tau second and these pulses are separated by sampling period or sampling time ts. Okay, this duration is nothing but ts. Okay, it is known as sampling duration. The baseband, this is the baseband or modulating signal x of t and the sampled signal xp of t are multiplied together to get the sampled signal. The sampled signal xs of t is a train of pulse of width tau whose amplitude are varying. Observe here, these pulses do not have flat tops, but their tops follow the waveform of the input signal x of t. The sampling rate is greater than or equal to the Nyquist rate. This must be important here. Okay, now this is the time domain representation. Now here is the same frequency domain representation of natural sampling. Okay, now before proceeding to the flat top sampling, we will observe some of the merits and demerits of the natural sampling. So first thing, The merits of this natural sampling is generation is very easy. Next one, we can use practical low pass filter for reconstruction. Third one, the amplitude of high frequency component decreases, therefore some distortion is introduced. Okay. Increased signal to noise ratio due to finite pulse width of the sampling function and that of the sampled signal. For large value of tau, there is a possibility of crosstalk. So these are some merits and demerits of natural sampling. Now we will move towards the flat top sampling. The natural sampling is rarely employed in practice. Instead, the other practical sampling technique called the flat top sampling is employed in practice. This is most commonly used techniques. In the flat top sampling technique, the analog signal x of t is sampled instantaneously at the rate of Ts equal to 1 upon Fs or Fs equal to 1 upon Ts, and the duration of each sample is lengthened to a duration tau. Here duration is tau. Okay, as shown in figure. Thus the amplitude of these pulses are constant and equal to the corresponding sampling value. Observe here, the top of this pulse is flat. This flat top pulse can be obtained by using the sample and hold circuit as shown in figure here. Okay, the sample and hold circuit consists of two FET switches and a capacitor as shown in figure. The analog signal x of t is applied at the input of this circuit and the sampled signal g of t is obtained across this capacitor. A gate pulse will be applied at gate G1 at the instant of sampling for a very short time. The sampling switch will turn on and the capacitor charges through it the sample value of x of nts. When this G1 switch is on. Okay, so this charge like this. Okay, at this time G2 will be closed. Okay, the sampling switch is then turned off, that is G1 is turned off. Both the FETs G1 and G2 will remain off for the duration of tau. Here, tau second, and the capacitor will hold the voltage across it constant for this period. Thus, the pulse stretch to tau second. At the end of the pulse interval tau, a pulse is applied to G2 gate terminal, that is the gate terminal of the discharge FET. This is discharge FET. Okay, this will turn on the discharge FET and short circuit the capacitor. The output voltage then reduced to 0 as shown in figure. Here, reduced to 0 as shown in figure. Hence, in frequency domain, flat top sampled signal has the same output as in natural sampled case. Most obvious effect of hold operation is significant attenuation of the higher frequency spectral replicates, and this effect is known as the aperture effect here. The hold operation, means the circuit is known as the sample and hold circuit. The circuit is known as the sample and hold circuit. This is sample and then hold, okay, and then discharge. So that's why it is sample and hold, but this causes the aperture effect. What is aperture effect? The sampled signal in the flat top sampling has the attenuated high frequency components. This effect is called as aperture effect. Means what? Observe here. This is the pulse, okay, sampled pulse of duration tau, okay, duration tau. Observe the corner part of this pulse here. Instead of getting flat top of continuous pulse, here some attenuation is there at the corner point, and this part effect is known as the attenuation of high frequencies, high frequency component, and this is called the aperture effect. This is known as the aperture effect. The aperture effect can be compensated by or can be minimized by, first one, selecting the pulse width tau as very small. Means instead of this tau width, if I consider the pulse width like this, then observe at the corner there will be no frequency attenuation, and hence the aperture effect can be minimized by lowering the pulse width. Okay, and the second way to minimize or compensate the aperture effect is by using equalizer circuit. Okay, so hence equalizer decreases the effect of the in-band loss of the interpolation filter, also called as low pass filter. Hence now here we will stop, and the next part will continue in the next session. Thank you.